Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time we're going to go way back, and it's not even exactly a comic. But before we do that, first, wanted to today I'm shooting this on Wednesday morning, so I have made a selection for the winner of my 1,000 subscriber contest, and that is the Gray Man, who is the winner. Congratulations! I've already contacted him elsewhere, but this is to let you all know. Okay, and also wanted to mention another YouTube channel that I kind of like is Alex Turbin. It's Turbin. Alex Turbin. It's comic stuff. And okay, we're going to take a look here. It is not a comic book, but it is in the foundations of comics. This goes way back, and what could be called the origins of the graphic novel. Of course, they didn't use that term then. With artist Frans Mazeel. Now, of course, he was drawing on older traditions as well of narrative artwork, and like for illustrations, narrative illustrations that were to supplement novels and stuff, text, but with the illustrations being illustrative, telling part of a story, and you could put those together and you could kind of get the story. Well, he went farther. There, goes back. I'm not going to go too far back for that stuff. Well, this is Frans Mazeel, born in 1889 in Blankenberg, Belgium, and he died in 1972 in Avignon, France. And he produced what he called novels without words and woodcuts, and was very influential. And there were many other artists after him, and he still has people imitating his look and technique as far as the novel without words, even to contemporary times. Prime example is Flood by, I've forgotten the guy's name. I just looked it up last night. Dooker was his last name, I think. I think that's from Flood. Of course, that was done on scratchboard, but Frans Mazeel did his in woodcuts, and others have done woodcuts and other things like that. I have 2 books of his here. We're going to look more deeply into Passionate Journey, but in this one, the city is not so much a narrative as it is a bunch of events and scenes happening in the city, hence its title. Okay, and Mazeel was a graphic artist and painter from Belgium, but he spent his life primarily working in France. You can see some of his, just give you an idea of. He is best known for his woodcuts, focusing on social and political issues such as war and capitalism. And capitalism a century ago is not like the capitalism of today, but modern capitalists are trying to get back to that. In his career, he compiled over 40 wordless novels, or graphic novels, and the greatest of which is considered to be Passionate Journey. His work influenced other artists who produced similar things, like Lind Ward, who I plan on covering another time, and Clifford Harper, Eric Eric Drucker, that's the one who did Flood, and Otto Michael. Mazeel's father died when he was 5 and the family moved to Ghent, and his mother remarried. They regularly protested against the working conditions of local textile workers. He studied at 18 years of age. He studied at École des Beaux-Arts, French, unpronounceable. I'm sorry. While visiting England and Germany, and was inspired to make his first woodcuts. No, while visiting England and Germany. He settled in Paris in 1911 before moving to Switzerland during World War I. Before moving to Switzerland and World War I, working as a graphic artist in magazines and protesting the war. He was a pacifist. Afterwards, he did illustrations for a Belgian French language magazine while living in France. He gained inspiration from the school of Expressionism, and you can really see that here in his work. In Paris, he produced famous paintings of street scenes, and during World War II, he fled to the south of France. After the war, he taught. That was still part of Free France. After the war, he taught at many schools for many years. And his first graphic novel was 25 images of man's passion. In 1919, that was in 1918. 1919, he did Passionate Journey, The City in 25. He did a total of 40 graphic novels in woodcuts and brush and ink over his lifetime. And then he died in 1972. So he lived long enough to see his certain fame, and his work influence others. And these are just some, an example of his work. But this particular one is non-narrative, as I said. I only have these two, but he did a whole bunch. And if it's you are interested in the history of this stuff and want to see more, you can always probably find some in your local library. That's where I have seen others of his work from the library and others. And don't forget, you don't have to buy comics and graphic novels yourself, because most libraries today carry them, so you can go check them out and read. Of course, you don't have as wide a selection, but you also can find stuff that may not be available from your comic shops either, especially stuff that's too expensive. Okay, so that is Frans Mazeel's The City. Now let's take a look here. Now, I'm not sure if this is the original size of his woodcuts, because it makes them very small, or if this has been reduced for this particular volume. I don't know. This has an introduction by Thomas Mann. I don't care. And I'll just throw it, because this is Passionate Journey. The guy comes to the city. You can see his stuff, seeing around, being impressed by the stuff he sees, and turned off by the stuff he sees, all the machines, the smoke, and all the people, and he is kind of aghast at that. I won't get too far in there. He meets ladies of the evening, I'm sure, or others. There is helping people, making some friends, all kinds of things. and you watch it, look at it closely. You can see you don't know his name or his background or anything. You learn a bit about him. He works, goes back to the country and works for a while. Reads stuff and political stuff. And how he gets his heart broken several times by various women, making friends, surrogate family until she dies, crying out to God there on the beach, seeing the ships coming in. He starts traveling the world. I don't know where he gets the money to travel the world. Sees the conditions that people live in elsewhere, all around the world. And that's why it's called Passionate Journey. And then when he comes back, he is very angry with the conditions of people. He starts acting up. He's an activist. Gets involved in social and political things. All kinds of stuff. So back to the woods, back to to nature, I guess, where he is more contented until he dies. And that is Frans Mazeel's Passionate Journey. Now, I'm going to talk about, I'll use this one just because it's larger and easier to see, is woodcuts. This is, so all the white areas is what he cut out of the wood. So that's a lot of work. And that's why there are so many large, dense black areas. And he utilized that medium well. His art is highly stylized. It would be considered cartoonish today, or even 50 years ago. And Passionate Journey is from 1919, as I said. So that's over 100 years old. It's an old graphic novel. And he's more concerned with his portrayal of the details than with, such as perspective and proportion, etc. And I think it works well for his style. I mean, it would be very hard to do all of his style, to do it convincing in perspective. And it's hard to ignore a perspective unless you intentionally. And since he was well trained, he knew how to use perspective. He just chose not to. And like I said, others, Lind Ward, I have another one I plan on covering him because he did a similar thing, but he was a little bit more meticulous in the contents of his. So I know this is kind of stuff that doesn't get as many views. I know that, but I've been wanting to do something on these graphic novels for a long time, and if you're at all interested in the history of comics and graphic novels and graphic storytelling in this fashion, like I am, this is an integral part of that history. It is a foundation. Without this work, we would not have comics and graphic novels today as we do, because it helped put forward the very concept of visual storytelling in this manner. And of course it has evolved over the century. So that's all I've got for you this time. So please like, share, and subscribe. Pass this on to any friends that you have who maybe they're not into comics, but they do like art history or something like that. This is specifically art history. And So share this with them and leave a comment. What do you think of this very idea of these word novel without words? I couldn't think of the words. Novel without words of Frans Mazeel. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.